Welcome everybody to day 10 of Expedition Online Season 2. It has been a crazy season so far. I'm Jonathan Dykes. With me in the commentator booth, we have the winner of Season 1, Jessica Martin. It's been nuts, hasn't it, Jess?
Absolutely insane.
Yeah, I mean, there's really no telling on a day-by-day basis which way the game is going to turn. On day 9, we saw as Kyle would be blindsided. Everybody decided it was their best move to take out Kyle, who was deemed the biggest threat and kind of the de facto leader of the group. I mean, signing off, you and I weren't too impressed with that. We're hoping to see the gameplay kind of pick up again today, aren't we?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the great thing about this game is you never know what's going to happen. Mm-hmm. People can always surprise you, and it seems like Gideon got some wind in his sails after Kyle went home. So hopefully he'll be back on his feet and ready to fight for his life in this game now.
Yeah, I mean, especially Gideon. He had received the majority of the votes the 2 prior Crossroads that he had been to, and was fully expecting to go out, and now he has new life. He's already found a compass in the past. He's been one of the most active players trying to kind of maneuver. Giving him that extra life, do you think that's going to end up being a mistake for the other players?
Yeah, he's a good player, a very good player. And if he plays his cards right, he should link up with Justin from Team Janet, pull him as a number, and see if they can take out one of the 4 that are running the show.
Yeah, glad you mentioned Justin, because I think as far as the bottom of the game, I think Justin has been playing there pretty much the entire time. Sure, he was with the original Team Janet.
He's good there, though.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, as much as he's with the former Team Janets, he knows he's on the bottom of that. He's been saying that in his confessional since the beginning. Yeah, I mean, I'm very much looking for him to make a bit of a splash today. Jared also a little bit caught in no man's land between his former Team Janet, which he's aligned with everything, but again, the core of that, the 3 from DC, as we call them, Daniel, Maddie, and Rob, really seem to be a whole lot tighter. So we have 5 former Team Janets and 3 former Team Ethans still remain in the game. It's going to be very interesting to see if those former party lines are done for good after what happened with Kyle.
We shall see. It'll be exciting.
Yeah, a lot of storylines to play out. I mean, I don't think there's a front runner to be eliminated right now. I think there's a lot of good arguments for a few players who are playing really strong. There's a couple players on the bottom who really need to pick things up if they're going to have an argument at the final ascent to actually win the game. So what do you say we send things over to watch all this play out?
Send it over.
It's day 10 on Exhibition Online.
I feel like I can breathe. This is like a rewarding day in the party, but God, it was draining at the time. It was draining at the time. I'm so glad. It's like when you run like a half marathon, maybe a marathon, but I've only done halves. It's like when you run a half marathon and you realize all of those hours and weeks of training has paid off once you cross that finish line and you decide to get shit-faced off of bottomless mimosas afterwards.
Well, last night's vote was interesting. I'm in a weird position because I don't know where I stand. I don't know if now I'm the biggest target or if they're going to target somebody else. It's still 5-3, original Ethan's down, but maybe original Ethan doesn't matter anymore. That's what I have to hope for. My game plan coming into Monday is try to win the challenge.
So I win the exemption challenge, which is great, because now I can make this move against Kyle without having to worry about if he actually plays anything, that I'd be going home, or something getting turned around on me.
It's probably a good thing that I didn't win the challenge 3 days in a row, because people were starting to look my way. I mean, Jared told me that Kyle wanted to vote me off the moment I lost, just because I kept winning. When we got back to shelter, everyone was surprisingly on the same page. Vote out Kyle. Now or never.
And I'm trying to keep up this fake story of I'm sorry, we're splitting the vote. Because to me the plan is we want to make sure that if anyone of those 3 have any sort of advantage, they play it tonight. We get rid of Kyle and we get rid of advantages. We start the game basically fresh.
It's given me like this new revived sense of the game.
I'm so thankful that they all It was a unanimous vote. You don't understand how much, how happy I am. And it's not only for me, it's for Gideon and it's for Ryan because we were on the bottom.
And it's only getting harder as we move forward in this game when there are less people to hide behind, like a Kyle, and people to, and more people to seriously consider as threats.
We gotta have some spice, guys. And trust me, your girl Chantel, we go into the top. Whether I gotta get there kicking and screaming, I don't care.
Get to the end, I want to make sure that I earned it and I'm not coasting and just getting by. And this is kind of giving me an opportunity to really navigate the game.
I'm more paranoid now that maybe I'll be looked at as a threat for having a somewhat decent social game. I'm not gonna say I'm a social butterfly or anything like that, but I feel like I'm on good relations with everyone on the party. I don't think anyone actively dislikes me.
I think I'm getting along well enough with people, but I'm definitely not feeling as if I'm on that inner circle of celebration and all that. So,
we're heading into our last week and this is going to be the final stretch. I think it's going to be a bloodbath. I think there's going to be a lot of surprises and this is the final push. I mean, we have one more week and we're going to know who wins this game. And I think I'm continue to be in a good position, but I'm never going to say, I'm so comfortable because that's when you go.
And I gotta figure out what can get everyone voted off.
Greetings, explorers. Today's challenge is called Knock 'em Down, Stack 'em Up. It will be played in 2 phases. Your goal is to be one of the first 4 fastest explorers to knock all 6 cups completely off of the table. If you make it on to phase number 2, you need to pick up all 6 cups and make sure you can reach them easily. Grab that hardback book and balance it on the palm of your hand. This is the part where you're going to stack them up. Start with your first cup upside down, and then you'll alternate them up, right side up, upside down, until you have all 6 cups stacked up. Once you have that stacked up, and you can take your hand away for 3, 2, 1 and keep it balanced. If you're the first explorer to do it, you win exemption. Good luck!
All right, welcome to the challenge, explorers. We have 8 explorers remaining. Tonight you are competing for individual exemption. You will be competing against each other head to head in the first round. So we will have 2 explorers at a time. Before the challenge began, 3 of you earned an advantage in this game. That is to pick your opponent. So Justin, you were the first one in. Gideon, you have the second pick, and Chantel, you have the third pick. So Justin, you get to pick which of these remaining 5 explorers you are going to compete against in the first round.
Oh god. I'll go with Rob.
Rob, Justin versus Rob in the first round. Gideon, who's going to be your opponent?
I'll go Maddie.
Maddie. Gideon versus Maddie. And Chantel, who's your opponent?
Okay, I'm gonna do Daniel.
Chantel versus Daniel, which means Ryan will compete against Jared.
Let's go.
All right. Looks like they all picked someone that's not really in their tight core to go
We're
against.
gonna go with the first
Good
matchup,
strategy.
which is Justin versus Rob. 3, 2, 1, go.
It's definitely going to be interesting to see
Rob with a big
if
hit.
these picks come up in the conversation later. I could see Rob being like, well, Justin picked me. Obviously, he didn't want to see me win the exemption. That sort of thing. So,
Which it is interesting too, since they are on the same party, a former party that he picked him. But he's kind of calling out like, "Hey,
right?
I know you want to work with me, so I'm gonna beat your
You
ass."
guys can say whatever you want. Mike's unmuted if you want to cheer him on.
Doc's trying to get everyone to talk and expose their alliances.
It's hard when they get on the table, laying down. It's a lot harder to bounce off.
Yeah.
Looks like Rob has 1 cup to go. Justin.
Rob nails it.
Rob got it.
Justin making the wrong
So Rob
choice.
got Rob
Rob
into the second
Right?
round.
takes him out of the challenge.
Man, I thought he would win that
Rob,
one
you take
too.
a break.
Yeah, I mean, Justin's
Gideon
been
and
doing
Maddie
very well in the
get into
challenges,
position.
He had that one cup
You two
laid
does a
down,
good job.
and like they were saying, it's really tough to hit that cup.
We will
once
see
it's
Rob
laying
in the
down
second
on the
round. We're
table.
going to see
I
who's
love
going
it.
to join in
if it
here
was
between
beer pong,
Gideon and
you
Maddie.
may have won.
Yeah.
5,
But
4,
favorite.
3, 2, 1,
Yeah.
go.
Oh, we can't do this. Oh my god. I think Gideon just did that in 2 shots.
Damn, son.
He crushed that.
See?
Ooh.
was doing good. Good job, Gideon.
Gideon has come to
All
play
right, so
today.
Gideon
I love
joins
it.
Rob in the second round. Next we have Chantel versus Daniel.
I'm scared.
I don't think there's an obvious vote for tonight, but I think if there was
Use
one
that
on
energy.
paper, it would be Gideon, right? He voted
Y'all
out
got
twice,
this.
used the
Oh,
company.
All right,
power.
looks like you're both in position.
100%
you
they're
down
going to
from
go for
5.
Gideon. He's very
5,
smart.
Yeah,
4,
so
3,
he
We
would,
set him
Two.
on
he would
1
really put
plus
a,
1,
again.
make
go.
things really difficult tonight.
Chantel with a big shot.
It
Taking his
will
name
be-
off if he could.
Justin
It
with a
will be
big shot.
interesting
Daniel
to
with a big
see
shot, I mean.
who Team Ethan targets, though.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, Daniel pulls it
Daniel
off.
has knocked them all off. And went into his victory dance.
This challenge is interesting because depending on where you put your table, the balls might not bounce all the way back to you.
I appreciate it, actually. I do appreciate when you
Yeah,
get
lots
my
of things to
attention.
think
So
about
Daniel
here.
joins Gideon and
When
Rob
you're
in the
doing-
second round.
Because you
Which
place
means
all
we're down
of the
to
items
Ryan
yourself,
versus Jared.
really, like,
best
you
for
should be thinking about how, where's the
Ryan
ball going to
versus
bounce after I
Jared.
throw
Are
it?
you guys
Like, what's
ready?
gonna be the easiest way to collect these?
Let's get Jared
Those
into
kind of things are
position.
going to come into play because we don't police
Let's
that kind
see
of stuff.
who
We
is
tell
going to
them
join
what
the other
needs to be
3 in the
there.
second round.
Help
And
yourself
5,
out here.
4,
Yeah, there's definitely opportunities
3,
to give yourself an
2,
edge in these challenges
1,
if
go.
if you really think about it.
Wow, Ryan,
Oh my god.
Holy!
that was incredible.
You know what? He knocked off when we did the 3 cups earlier. He knocked that off
Man,
in one
why are you
shot.
so good at everything?
I think he only took 2
Damn.
shots. every time.
You're going to have
So
a Team
Ryan,
Ethan
Rob,
showdown
Daniel,
in the
and Gideon
finals.
move
Yeah.
on to the second round. In
Principle,
3,
you just stack cups.
2,
But
1,
it's not.
go.
You got to keep that hand steady.
Mm-hmm.
The cups got to cooperate a little bit because they're very light. Gideon dropping, Ryan dropping. It's going to take a minute to figure
Even
out.
playing field right now.
Good job, Rob.
We,
Oh,
You're all welcome to practice at home if you want.
We've done this
Let us
competition a
know
couple
in the
I did.
chat
times.
if you.
I did practice at home, and I am glad that I got out the first round and didn't have to.
Oh, it sounds like Justin wasn't the favorite for this one.
good job, Daniel.
Gideon
Good job,
looks like
Gideon.
he's starting to kind of get it
Gideon?
going. Rob just has 1 to go here. If Rob can get this one to stick, Rob might have it. Oh!
This is such a hard
I think he realized he's
Be
not
one
in the
with
camera enough
cups,
and tried to back
guys.
up.
Be one with the cups.
This is not a rush challenge. I think at
No,
first
you
they're like,
have
oh,
to take your time.
yeah. At
I've
first
seen a
they're
few
thinking
4s
whoever
and
gets
maybe
there the
even a
quickest, but no,
5.
it's not that. You need to take your time, make sure every cup is perfect.
Okay, just
Otherwise
made this
it's
look
not gonna work.
easy in the video.
Yep.
Slow and steady.
Gideon once again getting to 5. Looks like Gideon is having a tough time getting the 5th cup to stay still.
You can
Oh
tell
man, at
he's
first I was
just
very
he's
impressed
getting
'cause Daniels
nervous.
wasn't moving, then I realized
The
those ones he had
pressure's
stacked
getting
on
to
the table.
him.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like we've already mentioned, Gideon probably needs this more than anyone else at the moment.
Yeah.
Hard.
Alright, guys. You got this.
It looks like he has the easiest time getting to 5 cups, so I mean,
Yeah.
That's the issue.
if I'm betting on anyone, I'm betting on Gideon to take it, but all it takes is for Rob to have a good run or
Some
Daniel to have a
breaks
good
in
run,
between.
who are also
Focus on your
getting
balancing.
pretty high up.
One more, Rob. Stay steady.
Everybody's
You're not done yet, Gideon.
Yeah.
This is so stressful just watching.
I know.
Yeah. And they're
Not even gonna
probably having heart
anymore.
palpitations trying to stack those stats.
Daniel really
Absolutely,
making
I am,
time,
I'm just sitting
taking the
there.
time to make sure the cups are steady. Back to Gideon, looking to get that. Was that the 5th?
Yeah.
You can do it,
Gideon
guys.
back to the
I
5th.
believe in you.
So Gideon is the first one to get 5 cups. Here we go.
Man, I'm holding my breath.
They are a swaying. Oh my goodness.
Oh, so close. Damn it.
The problem would be that they wouldn't have
Oh, Rob just had
palms
5
anymore
cups.
to hold the book, though.
See, Rob's having the problem where he has to bend down to get his last cup. Oh, did Ryan just do it? Ryan out of
Ryan?
nowhere.
What?
Ryan out of nowhere. Hasn't even gotten close yet. Has 5.
Oh, Gideon's going for 6. He's going for 6.
Oh.
Oh, my God.
Ryan, I think, had it for a second, but it was falling over. Oh, Gideon has changed where he's grabbing the cups from. I think that's a good idea because I really feel like that's what was when he got to 5. That was his biggest problem.
I really want to try this challenge now.
I don't think I have enough cups. I have some cups down here. Oh yeah, I do. All right. Can John do it better? Let's play the game.
I'm gonna get my cups too.
Slow and steady.
No, I managed to make him look bad in the slide puzzle. I don't have as much confidence in myself.
Gideon had it.
Yeah, I saw that. Gideon wins.
Oh, Gideon wins! Oh, wow.
Good job, Gideon!
Great commentators. We totally missed it.
So hard, guys. You all did so good.
But Gideon.
That was
Congratulations, Gideon. Thank God it's over.
You guys are going to have to watch Jess and I do it later, I guess.
Get me out of it.
All right, Gideon, you have one individual exemption for tonight. One of the rest of the 7 will be going home. I'll see you at Crossroads.
No, long time. Yeah. Well, I always say that, and then it goes by like this. So.
Right. Yeah, right. It's kind of weird right now. I mean, we act like all 8 of us are some big happy family. Like, we're not playing a game where we're all just going to vote one another out, and that is extremely strange to me. So,
guys, we do this every time.
I know, should we?
I know.
Okay.
Does anyone want to talk not game related?
Yeah, Daniel, get us started with the not game related.
Lies for me.
I mean, I know that we're good, and I had never have like any. I don't have any like doubt about you at all. But it's still like, you know how this game goes. You're just gonna get paranoid if you don't talk. So
I'm like already paranoid about tonight. Like I feel like once we got Kyle out, now it's just like, oh, it could literally be anybody at this point.
I know, and so we have to think about that. Here's the thing. I think we should go for Ryan. And the reason I think that is because he's so good in challenges. Like, he whooped my ass in 2 seconds. Like, I can't compete with that.
I know.
Like, do you think Chantel will be on board with that? Or do you think that she won't want to do it?
I don't know. With her, sometimes I'm like, will she do anything just to like not have the vote on herself? Or is she like really aligned with Ryan in some capacity? I don't think she really is at this point. It just sucks because like
so either
Ryan is so nice, but like you were so right. He's such a threat in challenges.
If we let him slip by too much, he's gonna win one of those crucial immunities that's going to blow up someone for us that we would prefer to stay. And like he seems nice, and we've talked about a couple things, but I just don't trust him as much as the other aside from Gideon, but like I like Gideon a lot too. So, but it's like in terms of trust, I just trust him the least out of the people remaining.
What are you thinking for today?
I don't know. I'm kind of thinking maybe Ryan.
It's exactly the name I was thinking.
Yeah.
I think. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, if it wasn't for Gideon winning exemption, it would be a bit easier to say his name. But obviously, he's guaranteed.
Yeah.
So
I also
go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say I don't think Maddie would vote Chantel also because they're getting kind of close.
Yeah.
So I think it would be easier to get out Ryan. But I mean, I get that, and I'm not trying to make a move on Chantel or anything. So I'm fine with doing Ryan today.
Is there a way the 3 of us can stay?
I think there is. I think so too.
Like, are they willing to take one of their own out?
I feel like they could.
We start the night and we have our exemption challenge, and I lose, and I'm starting to think like, all right, do I go for this move or do I not? I have to basically make this choice while watching the second round take place that I didn't even make, and I'm like, you know what? Screw it, I'm doing it. I am going for this move. I am going to try and take as much control of this game as I can. So as soon as the challenge ends, we all get back in the campsite, and luckily, immediately, I end up in a room with the 3 original Ethans.
The other 4 I know are super tight, and I told him I'm willing to vote with you 3 against one of them and go to Rocks if I have to, or whatever the form of Rocks is in this game.
We need to divide and conquer, guys.
So if it was up to me,
yeah. Who are we
I'm going to tell them I'm voting with them.
Okay,
because
yeah.
I don't want any advantages played. I want them to think it's 5-3.
Yeah.
If it's up to me, I'd like to go for Jared because Chantel, I think he's the one who has that compass from our swap tribe.
Oh, really?
I think so too. I think so as well.
I have a feeling he does because someone has to have it, and
I didn't get it.
If we believe that Jared has a compass, why don't we say that we're doing Jared, but then do somebody else?
Because
what
I
if
don't
he
know for
plays it,
sure if
then
he
what?
has it. I don't know for sure if he has it.
Because
I mean, if you want
he
to
does
go,
have it, and then he plays it for himself, then we're screwed, and you're on the outs, Justin.
who's the other option you would want to go?
I think there's a 0%
It's just
chance.
that compass thing that's.
I don't think Rob has a compass.
I just feel like right now, to be honest, I just feel like Rob is the bottom of that group almost. I feel like taking him out with this isn't really worth it almost. And to be honest, I think he's the most likely to not go to a tie and to switch his vote if it goes 4-4.
Yeah,
That's the reason I didn't want to do him.
Use his paranoia. If it comes down to a tie, use his paranoia against.
That's what I'm saying. I think Rob's paranoia makes him the most likely to switch his vote on a revote.
Are you willing to let your fate go down to a rock, Rob? Like stuff like that, you know?
Exactly.
There's the joke that I am the most paranoid person on the party. And in this game, I don't think it's hurtful to have that reputation. I just don't.
I don't know what to do.
Okay, I'm putting Jared's name down unless we change the plan in a little while. I'm going to tell them that you two are trying to convince me I'm on the bottom of their 4. That's what I'm going to basically tell them that you're doing to me, and that's why we've been talking for so long.
Okay.
I was in the room with the 3 of them for a while because I couldn't get anywhere else. They're all trying to convince me to vote for, I think Rob is who their target right now is.
Okay.
Because they say he's least, and I'm like, but what am I going to do? Go to like a tie at this point? Like there's nothing really for me jumping to your side right now. How does that even help my game?
So they want you to vote Rob. Why? Because he's least likely to play a compass?
They told me, they were like, well, he's least likely to play a compass.
Okay. And they're all three sticking together?
I don't know. See, the problem is I only talk to them as a group. I haven't talked to Ryan. So Ryan might not be sticking with them, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know where his head's at away from the 2 of them because he has been going back and forth. But again, I don't think it matters because I think he has to be the target tonight.
Ryan, yeah, that's my thought too. But we need to say something to him though. Like, what are we going to tell him?
I mean, we could either tell him Chantel.
Yeah.
Well, I guess because Gideon's off the table. Chantel's really the only way we could tell him.
Okay, so I guess we just got to say Chantel to him and hope he believes us.
All right, so yeah, I'm going to push that. I feel bad. Maybe I'll try and convince Gideon and Chantel to vote Ryan.
Well,
so if
or just tell them, like, yeah, sure, I'm with you, whatever, so they don't try to scramble or do anything crazy and then just don't vote with them.
That's true. That's probably the easier way to do it.
Right?
But then I don't know if they're going to buy that.
Yeah, I don't either.
That's my problem. I don't know if they're just going to be like, screw it, he's not gonna vote with us.
I was contemplating telling you guys this, but I came across a compass that I can either use myself, but I can also save one of us should that situation become the
Oh
case.
my god!
That's
Congrats!
great. Oh my god!
Thank you.
Was this
So,
the
yeah.
one that was like, oh, these are the 3 words to describe Janet?
It was a different one actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm just curious, like, where it was that in the internet.
Yeah.
But wow, congrats.
Thank you. So yeah, I have no idea what's happening. I've just been stuck out of rooms the entire night, so I really don't know what's going on. But should any of our members be like in a dangerous spot, I can play it on them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
That's great.
So do you mind if I ask what you guys talked about with Jared
So we're considering kind of making a little bit of a move here. And by move, I mean, I'm thinking we may want to get Justin out.
Oh, okay.
And so, like, when we were in the room with Jared, like, Jared does not trust this man at all, especially after the way he acted at Crossroads when they were on that swap tribe. Like, I didn't realize he still held a grudge. And so I'm thinking it might be good to, cut an OG Janet.
Ooh.
Actually, I think Justin was just talking to Daniel because he slipped to me that he might want to get one of like you guys out tonight.
Justin said that?
Justin said that?
Yeah. He's trying to convince you guys that me, Gideon, and Chantel are going to be voting against Rob or one of you guys. So if you come across him, don't tell him that I said anything, but that's what he's going to say. He's going to try to convince you guys that Chantel, Gideon, and me are voting a certain way. And so he wants to,
who told you that?
it was Justin.
Okay, interesting. All right.
Yeah, so like if we go to or if you guys just go to field right now, I think that's what he's gonna say.
All right, I'm gonna go.
Okay.
Yeah. So you guys
Thank
can,
you for the heads up.
Yeah. Okay.
don't tell him I told you guys if that's okay.
What's going on?
So Daniel told me probably go Ryan.
Okay. Ryan just told me that you told him me or Rob. Is he lying
I told him you were Rob.
to him?
I never gave Ryan a name. I was stuck in a room with the three of them when we first split up, and they were trying to pitch me a name, and the name they pitched me was Rob. They never said you at all.
Oh, okay.
The name they pitched me was Rob because they were like, Rob's the least likely to have a compass. And I was like, okay, but why does this help me by voting with you guys? It would be tied.
Okay, because he was okay. That is so schemy because he was saying, he was like, yeah, Justin brought that up. And I was like, that doesn't really make any sense. And like, even when he was saying it, I was like, what? I don't trust it.
He said that I brought up to him.
Like, his story isn't straight either because he also told us that he found a compass. And I was like, we were like, where'd you find it? He was like, it wasn't the Janet, like 3 adjective one. We were like, well, where did you find it? Like,
well, that's probably him trying to avoid the votes going on to him. That's what I would assume. He knows at this point. I feel like the three of them.
Like he's like lying. He's just lying everywhere.
I don't understand why though. He said that because I did hear Rob's name from them, and they were like, "Hey, if we vote for Rob, would you be down for that?" And I was like, maybe. Like obviously, I didn't say no to them, but I was like, maybe. And they were, but I was also like, who else are you going to try and get on this? Because that would put us just to a tie at this point. Like, what? How does that help me?
Do you feel comfortable voting Ryan out tonight?
No, because he's such a sweetheart. But I mean, if I have to do it,
he's so sweet. But he's also lying because he's telling me that he has a compass. I know he doesn't have a compass. And I asked him where he got it.
Compass?
Because, yeah, I think he's just lying through his teeth this evening. And then he told Justin, or he told me and Rob that Justin was like scheming and like throwing our names out into the mix and like all this stuff. And he was like, if you talk to Justin, he's going to tell you that.
He actually talked to me and Ryan and Gideon, and he was like, oh, I think we should get out Jared, but I also feel like Jared has a compass.
Who said that?
Justin.
Okay, well, when I talk, okay, I'm wondering if Justin was saying that because Ryan was Ryan in the room?
Ryan was in the room. It was me, Gideon, Ryan, and Justin jumped in, and we all talked, and he said how he wanted to be like a vote with us and split the votes because he feels like he's on the bottom of y'all's totem pole. He feels like he's on the outs.
Justin said that?
And then I hopped out. I went to Jared, and then I'm talking to Jared, and Jared's like, oh, it's between Ryan and Justin. And then I'm over here, like, saying Justin, and then he's like, Ryan. And I'm like, okay, like, tell me who you want me to write down, and then we'll go from there. And then
I was planning on
that
Ryan.
I could trust Justin. I feel like Justin can't keep his mouth shut for anything. Like he's just so honest and blah 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 blah, as if he can like control him or something.
Wait.
Yeah, it was
Ryan
me.
said that.
No, Jared.
Jared said that about Justin. That he can trust Justin because he can't keep his mouth shut.
Yep, because he's so honest. That's what he said.
I don't believe that for a second. I think
it's the fakeness for me.
Ryan is just like winning a lot, and he's really good at everything. And like since he didn't,
if he does have a compass, then what are we doing? It's gonna fall back on one of your people.
I don't think he has a compass.
I don't know, man. He don't talk to me, but he used to talk to Gideon before they fell out.
Well, the reason why I don't think he has a compass is because when he was in a room with Rob and I, he told us that he has a compass, and he was like, "Who should I play it on in our group tonight, like to protect someone?" And we were like, we don't need to talk about that yet. Like, whatever.
What did Chantel think?
She's good to vote Ryan. She's talking to him right now because I was like, could you ask him like very casually about the compass thing?
That the three of you went into a room and he asked you, and then you lied, and yeah, and I'm like, well, and then she said, oh, he's messing his game up, but right now it's gonna be Ryan and blah 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 blah.
Oh my god, I thought I was close with them. That's why I told them that I do have a compass, because I said that like I can play it on.
Because then she said that Rob tried to ask you like, where did you find it? Like genuinely, I want to know where you found it. And then like you just didn't give them an answer, so it just seemed sus to them.
Okay, so this compass is an heirloom compass, which means that it was gifted to me by someone who's voted off.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
then.
So I can explain to them about that. I was not lying to them. I'm really sad that they think I'm lying.
And they want to throw.
Oh my god.
But I mean,
Oh my god.
make it backfire in their face.
Yeah.
We just gotta play it properly. But are you ready to do this move?
Yeah, but they said that they wanted to get out Justin from what I've been hearing.
Maddie told me. Maddie, I just finished speaking to Maddie before you jumped in here, and she told me Ryan.
I heard that you guys are like, you're really doubting me and you want to get me off, and you think I'm lying, but I promise that was the truth. So this is an heirloom compass, which means that it was gifted to me by someone who was voted off, and that person was Gabe. So I can read you the description.
Ryan, I wasn't trying to doubt you. It was just like when we were like probing you about where you found it, and you're like, oh, I just found like it somewhere. I was like, it wasn't like it didn't feel like genuine to me when you said it. But now that you explain it, obviously like that makes sense. But it was just like when we were asking where you found it, it wasn't like.
I'm sorry about that. I should have explained more.
I talked to Chantel about it because I was like, we want to get Ryan out tonight. And then I was like, the only thing is he said he had a compass, but like, it wasn't like super believable because he didn't tell us where he got it. For Ryan to come back and be like, Chantel told me that you guys thought I was lying. I'm like, Jesus, I'm like pissed.
Like, I don't even know. It makes me like wonder, like, can we trust Chantel if it's basically just a funnel that goes straight to Ryan? Like, I don't know. And so, also,
I don't know.
Oh, what's the advantage of like making up an advantage? Easy. People
So that
then
you don't
vote
go
for you.
home?
Like, oh, what does he think that like? Because you know what it is? He's only seen one season of the show.
Right, because it's like, of course you can make up an advantage so you don't go home. Like,
right. If
that's
if other people believe that it's real,
part of a strategic plan.
Yeah.
So you know what? I'm just kind of like are we
still write his name down? If he plays a compass and he finds out that our votes were on him, I'm just gonna be like, yeah, I didn't trust you. I didn't believe you. I think you're a schemer.
I do feel bad for doubting him, but like it was not very believable when he said it. And I feel bad that he's like hurt by me not believing him.
Yeah,
but like
First off,
Oh
also
my
it's like,
God.
I get your emotions out of this game. You have to, otherwise you will like need therapy.
Literally. Um. I don't understand what's going on. Okay. The plan, the names I've heard are
No.
Justin. Is it Justin? Okay, I don't know what's going on right now.
Okay. So, all right. Well,
Hi.
I still want to go. I want to go for Ryan.
Yeah, Gideon's cool. You can. Yeah.
Okay. I just want. I know Gideon.
Okay. I was like, what is going on? What are we
No,
doing
just-
here? Okay, so we are.
Gideon's all right. He's good.
Not
Okay.
stupid.
I know Gideon. I'm sorry, and Gideon knows because I was tiptoeing when we were in here alone. But yeah, no, the real plan is Ryan. Sorry, I can't do this. I'm too tired. The real plan. This is like real Survivor. By like day 30, you're like, I don't care.
I am exhausted.
Okay, so here's the thing, Gideon. We're voting for Ryan, but we're making him think it's Justin, and he keeps following me around to every room. So that's why I keep having to lie. Like I'm not exaggerating. I like went to a room, he followed me. He's like following me all night. Are we feeling good? Is everybody?
It's Ryan, right?
Yes. Well, here's where I think we're at. If we want to, because we have a little time. If you want to talk about like long game, I really still see it as Yumi and Maddie. Like I really,
Me too.
I don't plan on deviating from that. I'm never comfortable, but like with you guys, I've always felt like that good. I don't know. I just still feel like that's our best bet.
So I agree. I think the one thing we should note, which is fine, is that Maddie and Chantel are fairly tight. So that would probably involve going to Final Four with Chantel, which I mean,
we can't do that. We can't do that.
Hear me out. Hear me out.
He just act himself over.
Do we go along with the Ryan vote, or and then act shocked when he gets voted out and try to get it inherited to us?
I don't know. Is he gonna buy that though? I don't want to write his name down. I mean, they can.
I don't
they
either.
Can get him out without.
They can get him out without our names. That's what I'm
But
saying.
we're gonna have targets on our back. Jesus Christ.
I'm just going through the options with you. If we're doing the Justin Rock draw thing, then mathematically, if you think about it mathematically, since I have immunity, then there's a better chance that they will draw a rock. Mathematically.
Okay.
It's a 4 out of 7 chance that they'll draw.
I want Jared to go home.
I do too. And that's why I really do want to work with Maddie and Daniel. But they're telling me Ryan's name and I don't like it. I don't know how we can sway them.
Frank, man, this is so annoying.
We have options. And I know me and you are good. I know me and you are going to be okay.
100%.
You heard Ryan had a compass?
Ryan told other people apparently he had a compass.
Okay.
Why? What's that face?
He can't play it until 7. So if you want to get him out, I'm down. I'm so tired of him telling people. Honestly, it's a legacy advantage. So whatever.
Seriously, he has a legacy advantage that he can. So that's why he's telling people now. He's trying to protect himself this round, and he has to play it next round.
Yep.
All right. I mean,
why is he telling everybody, bro? Like that's so stupid.
See, that's the thing. 100%. I was ready to do this. Force Rob's hand and take out Jared.
I don't want to see. Obviously, I don't really want to see Ryan go home. But like, if
Ryan is making me very paranoid with how he's throwing my name out to people.
Ryan's shooting himself in the foot. I'm not gonna lie, he really is.
He's just making me worry. Like, I honestly don't. Like, it's almost like to me, it's like I don't know if I can vote with him at this point to take out Jared.
I don't think he's legitimately saying your name and gonna vote it. But the way that he's telling people about the idols makes me sus because I'm like, come on, Ryan, like you're painting. Let me go ahead and paint the target on your back for you some more, buddy. Like, come on, dude. I'm going to vote Jared because if Ryan gets voted out, I think he'll give it to me or Chantel.
If you vote Jared,
I am.
No, but I'm saying he'll only give it to you. Like if you vote Ryan, he won't give it to you.
No, I doubt it.
Okay.
You have to talk to him, and then we have to reconvene later. You have to find out if he's really on board to vote Jared, because right now that's the thing that's making me skeptical to vote Jared. I don't think he's going to do it.
All right, here's the thing. I need to talk to Ryan and get it for sure, and then let me tell you.
I heard that they're choosing to go between me and Justin, so I wanted to say Justin. Just like I want to get one of the Janet team, but they're all saying Justin, so I don't know if.
Here's the thing, Ryan. They're not gonna go Justin. They're gonna go you, and it's gonna be you. If you have a compass other than the one I gave you, play it, please. But if you don't, then you really need to stick with that Jared vote and draw rocks, because they're not gonna vote off Justin.
Really?
Yeah, they're not. They're not.
You sure about that? I think they're closer with.
I am very
Jared than
sure.
Justin.
I am very sure. They're scared because you told Rob about the compass. They're scared because you're a challenge threat. And then they think you're a huge threat. And I don't want you gone because me and you are the two threats. And I want you to stay in the game. So really, you're gonna need to vote with Justin. And and you throwing out his name is making him not want to vote with you. He could save you. He could. I think he's the only shot you have of being saved is Justin. I know you might want to vote him out, but he might be your savior.
Well, I just told everyone else Justin, but I guess I can change it to
everybody's saying Justin. It's not Justin. It's Justin camouflaged with Ryan.
Okay.
I promise.
I actually I don't have another compass besides that one, so I might be going home.
I know.
I will take your word.
Dude. I've been honest with you this whole game, dude. Like, we are gonna have to draw. That's it.
Okay. So Gideon talked to me, and we're both gonna be putting down Jared tonight. But people don't know anything about Jared.
No one knows. Everyone's telling me though that you're putting my name. So honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I am a little worried right now that you're gonna vote me out. This is all I'm gonna say to you. If you obviously I can't save myself if you do decide to, but everyone told me you have a compass. So I'm not going to write your name down. I'm going to put Jared's name down. To be honest, I think the other people could go. I really don't. They're all telling me. They're all saying straight up with me, it's my name or your name.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that I really don't know which way they truly are going. It could be either of us. I can't read any of them at this point. Sometimes I'm thinking, no, they are going to vote out Ryan. Sometimes I'm thinking, no, they're going to actually vote out me. So to me, I'm not taking the chance. I want to vote with you. And if we vote together with Gideon and Chantel, then we force it. The reason I'm definitely voting Jared tonight is because I really don't know if it's between me or you. And I feel like, one, I think the move is better. I think we have to take out that side. And two, if it's for me and you do vote with me and to vote out Jared and I'm deciding like, no, screw it. I'm going to work with them. I'm going to vote Ryan. Basically it's going to be 4-3-1 and I go home. I think it's the same for you. If you vote for me and it ends up being 4 on you, then it's going to be 4-3-1 to get you out. Basically, I think we have to vote the same way, and I think Jared's the best bet. So are you on board to vote Jared tonight?
Oh, yeah, if I can. But does he have a freaking compass?
I don't think... Well, honestly, I'm not...
But he doesn't expect it. He doesn't expect it. Blindside him.
No, he doesn't expect it at all. But even if he does, they're voting me or Ryan. Regardless of if he has or not, you're not getting the votes. You know what I mean? Like, this is the best chance for you. Yeah. Like, for me, it's a worry. For me, it's a worry because if he plays the compass and they're coming for me, then I go home regardless of what we do.
They aren't though. They'll play it on Ryan, and they're going Ryan. So, but dude, this is our chance to take the power right here, dude.
So the concern is Ryan is most likely going to play a compass tonight. So
yeah,
does it make sense to just switch it to Justin, get the compass out of the game, and make sure we're all safe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No sense. makes the most sense, honestly.
Okay.
Are you guys cool with that?
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm
so who
super
else?
cool with that.
Okay, so we need to talk to Rob and we need to talk to Jared and make sure they're on board.
Mm-hmm.
I know Jared will be.
Yeah, Jared is fine. I think he'll be fine. And so, do you think what I was just talking to Maddie about, and I think what she's talking to Jared about, does it make sense to just vote Justin tonight and just make sure that, because if we pile them all into Ryan, then,
Chantel's still with us. Like, is she? Because we need her and Gideon for a split.
Yeah.
If we're gonna do a split, that's fine.
She's
but we
still
need.
she's still with us. I haven't like confronted her about anything. I'm not going to do that until like
No,
later
that's-
because I just want to make sure that we're good. So I think tonight, I don't know who's voting which way. Like as far as like between Justin and Ryan, I'm probably going to write Justin just to be safe.
So, yeah. So all we need is, as long as 2 people vote for Justin,
then we should
and
be
then
good.
if Chantel and Gideon vote, because if he votes for one person, right? Say he votes for whoever, and we have, and that's still because there's 1 and then 7, so we could do like 2 and then 5. So we just need 2 people to vote for Justin, and the rest would have to vote for Ryan.
Okay.
Because then no matter what, if he plays it, then there's whoever we have as our backup will do that. So we gotta like organize that in the next 3 minutes.
I'm gonna tonight.
I'm telling you guys now, I am willing to draw a rock to figure out to keep this.
Okay.
Rocks, that's always dangerous.
Man, this is gonna be a live one. I'm pretty excited.
I have no idea. I just watched them talk for an hour, and I have literally no idea how this is all going to break down. Like, I mean, there are so many possibilities. Oh,
this is a resume in the making right now.
Absolutely. This could be a phenomenal, complete season-changing move tonight. Either way, it's going to be.
I'm here for it.
Yeah, this is definitely one to watch. So let's throw things over to Docs and see
Crossroads?
how this night's going to play out.
All right, welcome to Crossroads. We have 8 explorers remaining in the game after Kyle was voted out at the last Crossroads. Gideon, you won exemption tonight, so you have exemption. How important was it for you today to win exemption?
Utmost importance it was to win exemption tonight. Every exemption that I play, I feel like I'm playing for my life. And I especially felt it, today. It's always great to win that, and it was a great competition. Great job to everybody else. So I was very, very happy that I won tonight.
Gideon, do you feel like you were more popular back at camp tonight?
Yeah, there was a lot of people that were like, Gideon, aren't you glad you won exemption tonight? And I was like, well, yeah, obviously, and that, in my mind, I'm like, well, that kind of, sounds like you were going for me if I didn't win, but it is what it is. Like, so yeah, I was glad that I won exemption, and that's my answer.
So let's talk about the vote at the last Crossroads. It was 8-1. I think it's very impressive at this point in the game to have a unanimous vote like that. So, would anybody like to take credit for it?
I'm not gonna take credit, but I have a comment as to I think why that went down.
Okay.
People bond well when there's a common enemy, and I don't mean that as an offense, Kyle. I just mean I think people recognized pretty collectively that Kyle was a threat, and so it wasn't a hard pitch to sell. And even people who may consider themselves on the bottom, it wasn't hard to convince people to do that. And so I don't anticipate it happening as effortlessly as it did last time.
That's fair. Rob, just to comment on something that Jared said, Kyle did say that he was a threat, and Jared kind of confirmed that. If you believe this as well, do you think somebody's going to regret voting out a big threat at 9?
We all definitely agreed that Kyle was a threat. Kyle was very self-aware, knew he was a threat. He'd made some big impressive compass plays at Crossroads, using a compass correctly twice. which is a huge set of bullet points for any Expedition Online resume if he makes it to the final ascent.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to kind of piece together the words, and can you repeat the question, please?
Well, do you think somebody's going to regret taking a big threat out at 9?
I don't think so, because beyond having impressive previous plays, Kyle also was a strong competitor who had a very high likelihood of getting future exemption wins. And so it was one of those things of, we may not have an opportunity to take the shot again, and if we're going to take the shot, we need to really not miss. And I don't think that we're gonna regret, oh, we wish we had a shield later on. Yeah, the way everyone's playing this game, threats are being identified and targeted, which is a little scary for anyone who's been playing a somewhat decent game, which is not me.
Nice editorial. Daniel, at this point in the game, trust is very important. So what do you actually get from a unanimous vote?
Well, I think, honestly, the biggest thing we got was that in the hour after the vote, we didn't have to start trying to explain ourselves and go running off a million different places trying to figure out who voted for who. So you get a little bit less stress, but what it also does is throw tonight's vote completely wide open. Like, I think, aside from Gideon, because he won exemption, everybody here probably feels some degree of nerves. I know I do.
Well, does anybody feel certain they're going home tonight? Certain? Not just at risk, but certain? Okay, Ryan, what was it like at camp tonight? Did you hear a lot of names, everybody talking to each other? What was going on?
Honestly, tonight was a pretty hectic night, especially for me because my name was brought up several times and it's never been one of the main names on the chopping board, but apparently I've been just playing too well or whatever, so people are afraid that I'll keep winning exemptions, which is not true. I haven't won the last 2 challenges. So yeah, a lot of hectic antics happening here and there, and everyone is definitely nervous tonight, especially me.
So how do you hear your name? How do you respond to that? Like, what do you do at camp when you hear your name come up?
Honestly, you just gotta give the best pitch you can to everyone you've talked to, relay back to them past connections, past actions of trust that you've made. That's what I've been trying to do, but it was surprising to me because some of the people that I have come to supposedly trust have revealed that they haven't been completely honest with me. And so that broke my trust and my heart a little bit, learning of those feelings and sentiments.
Go ahead.
Yeah, he also didn't mention that another tactic was throw someone else under the bus in his place, and that would be me.
Exactly.
So how did you respond to that, besides chiming in right now?
Kind of the same way 10 minutes ago where I called him out on it and was like, what the fuck? So yeah, I mean, at this point, Ryan threw my name out, so I threw his right back out. I don't blame him 100% because like he said, one of the reasons was he won 2 exemption challenges. And from what I heard was his pitch against me was, well, he also won 2. So I understand where he's coming from, but at the same time, you never like to be the one that's getting the alternate name.
Absolutely. It's nothing against aside from me and Justin, the only really competitive person in terms of competitions has been Gideon, who has exemption. So obviously the vote is just naturally going to fall to the 2 people
Ryan.
who've been winning.
He now also threw your name out there, Gideon, just so you know. Just pay attention.
I threw Gideon's name out.
You won't be immune every time, Gideon.
Oh my gosh, shut up.
So, Justin, you were talking about 10 minutes ago hearing this. Are you thinking that, or are you saying that you guys are using the full hour Like, is a name coming up? Do you know who you're voting for in the first 10 minutes? Or are you guys using the full hour and then it's just like whoever the finger's pointing at when it's time for Crossroads is in trouble?
No, I think that I knew who I was voting for pretty early because the other option was myself. So I knew where my vote was going. I think everyone else had to kind of weigh their options and figure out basically where they wanted to go. So that question should probably go to someone else.
Daniel.
So, yeah, I wanted to touch on that because I think you start to formulate these plans early on, but the thing that should be noted is unless you're in the shelter where everybody can come in, the room sizes being limited makes a huge difference. So even if you wanted to say, okay, there are 8 left, so you need 5 for majority, you can't ever get 5 together. So it's like the world's most stressful game of telephone trying to put all this together.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Maddie. Yeah.
I was just going to say on top of that, like, the stressful game of telephone is there's people having these conversations and they're turning and having conversations with other people. And you have to kind of just, with your gut, trust what someone is telling you, even though you weren't in the room. And that's really what creates this like messy situation that we're coming into tonight, is because there's all these conversations happening and you can't be a part of all of them. So you just kind of have to trust the people that you think you can trust. So it's honestly really stressful, and I've been losing a lot of sleep during this game.
That's the beauty of the game, though, right?
Really, really hard. So I respect everyone in this game, but man, it is stressful.
Chantal, so how would you describe the dynamic? I've heard a couple guys talking about their names coming out. How would you describe the dynamic at camp tonight?
Like Maddie said, a broken telephone. It really has been. And like she said, we have to just trust what other people are telling us, because we all can't fit in a room at the same time to have one agreement. So it's really stressful and it's scary because you never know. This game can be flipped upside down in a heartbeat.
So Jared, do you feel like, especially with the last vote or maybe even tonight, do you feel like everybody has input, or do you feel like one or two people or a small handful of people are actually dictating these votes?
Well, it's hard because I can only react to the information I get. So to Chantel's point about the broken telephone, I hear something, I talk to a few people, I think I got it, and then all of a sudden I have a conversation with someone I haven't talked to in a while, and now that throws a huge wrench in my plan, or I found out something different, or someone's not on board. So there's no one person having control because you still have all these other players in the game. And I think this paranoia we're seeing is there are 8 people left. There's nowhere to hide anymore. So we are literally going to target each other for the littlest thing. If you say the wrong thing now, so I don't think there's any one person controlling this game, because you can't get to the end by yourself. You need other people. That's the whole point of this game.
Maddie, do you think the votes are day to day, let me survive, or do you think it's at this point in the game people are formulating their end game?
That's a really good question, and it's kind of hard to answer because as much as I would like to say that I'm formulating my end game right now, it feels very, it's time to survive. I think this is the first vote where I've personally felt like it could go any which way. I don't feel like there's like a clear direction, and it makes me a little uneasy. But yeah, I'm definitely thinking about the end because I have to think about who I want to be sitting next to at the end. But right now it's like, how do I get to the next day?
Gideon, go ahead.
Yeah, to build off of what she said, like the Kyle vote like completely turned things around for a lot of people, and it really blurred those tribal lines, because even like I could sense it off of you, Doc. So you were just like, oh well, the last 5 votes have been Team Ethan's going off, so I don't believe the tribal lines are blurred. Like obviously that blurred the tribal lines a lot, and it was great to get to actually strategize with people that you'd never strategized with before. And in that time, like basically what I was told by Kyle was I had to write down Ryan's name just to force a tie and maybe save myself. So when I heard the Kyle vote, like that like was a saving grace by a lot of people that I hadn't worked with before in this game, and it really opened up a lot of doors to work with people that I wouldn't had thunk to work with before, if thunk is a word.
It's not. But it is also true that you forced me to throw out my old tribal or Crossroads cards after the last vote. You had to make me come up with a bunch of new questions. So since the game is completely wide open, I'm going to ask all of you the same question. We'll just go around the room, and Lucky Chantel is sitting right next to me, so I'm going to ask her first. What are you basing your vote on tonight?
I'm basing my vote on what can get me further in the game.
Daniel.
So I think this vote specifically is so far up in the air that I'm basing my vote on me being one of the final 7.
Gideon.
Exemption threats.
Jared.
Mine's trust. There's some people who I thought I could trust, and now I'm not so sure. So that's a big one for me.
Justin.
I'm getting to the 7, and that's basically it for right now.
Maddie.
Yep, that's me too. Just trying to get to 7, and that's what this is about.
Rob.
I feel like this vote is an opportunity for me to show potential loyalty or to reward someone's faith in me. So that's going to be where my vote is based off tonight.
Ryan.
Trust and connections.
All right. Does anybody else have anything they'd like to add before we go to vote? Nobody? All right. Tonight, Gideon has individual exemption. Are you keeping it, Gideon?
Yes, very much, yes.
Okay. So Gideon is keeping individual exemption, so you may not vote for Gideon. Okay. I have the votes. If you have a hidden advantage that you'd like to play, now's the time to play it before I read the votes. Okay, nobody's playing. Our first vote is for Jared. Second vote is for Justin. Our third vote is for Ryan. That's 1 vote Jared, 1 vote Justin, 1 vote Ryan. Our fourth vote is for Jared. That's 2 votes Jared, 1 vote Ryan, 1 vote Justin. Our fifth vote is for Justin. That's 2 for Jared, 2 for Justin, 1 for Ryan. Our sixth vote is for Jared. That's 3 for Jared, 2 for Justin, 1 for Ryan. Our seventh vote is for Justin. That's 3 Jared, 3 Justin, 1 Ryan. Our last vote is for Jared. That's 4 votes Jared. Jared, you've been voted out. Do you have any last words for the party?
Wow, no hard feelings at all. This was so much fun, and nothing but love. You guys totally got me, so it's awesome. No problem. It sucks.
Good game, Jared.
That was amazing. Go team underdog.
Wow. Crazy. Yeah, so breaks down 4-3 to 1 vote. The 1 vote for Ryan was Jared's vote. Jared essentially just voted himself out in what was supposed to be a split vote to protect from a compass. Turns out to be the end of his game. They absolutely did not see that coming, as, I mean,
Maddie and Daniel's faces.
Maddie and Daniel were wide-eyed. Rob, even at the end of the vote, was still like putting it together in his head. He really didn't see it coming. Jared, obviously a big fan of the game, as he appreciated the blind side. If you are going to go out, that's the kind of way you want it to happen.
That's how you're going to go out.
But, I mean...
The tables have turned.
Huge huge momentum swing as Justin makes a massive move in this game today. Gideon and
Resume point right there.
Absolutely. Gideon and Chantel now are able to make it one step further. I mean, they're making a great argument for themselves at the end, having to, they've been underdogs for a while now. And then you have Ryan, who emerged as a massive target today, but managed to back into the plan, and I'm shocked. I am genuinely shocked.
You never know what's going to happen.
Absolutely.
Someone can flip it in a second.
Yeah, you could have the best plan laid all out, but the one wrong person, doesn't even have to be yourself, gives up that information, and before you know it, everything is turned. And not only that, you have to think about how people are thinking about themselves in the game. Justin was a wild card today, and bad on former Team Janice for not recognizing that and not.
No, they didn't make him feel safe.
Absolutely.
They don't take care of their people on the bottom. It's clear where the division is, so.
Justin woke up and just kind of realized that he's way on the bottom of this Team Janet. Even if he does get to the end, the likeliness of him winning weren't looking really good. And it looks like he is completely flipped at this point and is doing a phenomenal job at it.
I'm Team Justin. That is my winner pick. If he gets there, he's winning. He's flipping it around tonight.
Yep, absolutely. And now Maddie, Daniel, and Rob, after spending pretty much this entire game being right up at the top, find themselves in a very unfamiliar situation. They are now down 4-3 in the numbers. And, I mean, no real reason for the former Team Ethan plus Justin right now to move over. They've got some work to do. I mean, there's a few players who really got some work to do tonight and tomorrow before the next Crossroads.
Yeah. Whew, it's gonna be a hell of a Tuesday.
Well, yeah, what a day, what a day. So here we sit at the end of day 10. We've got 7 players remaining. Still 4 former Team Janets, 3 former Team Ethans, but we know at this point that is not going to mean very much. Going forward, I believe it's an individual game. Everyone's out for their own at this point. Massive nights for some players. I think everybody is well in this game, and quite frankly, at this point with 7 people left, I'm shocked at how big of a chance every single player has. Like, I don't think any player is de facto GOAT at this point.
The playing field just got even.
Absolutely.
Turning point tonight.
Daniel, Maddie, and Rob are not out of this. They still hold on to the only 2 compasses still remaining in the game. Ryan has the heirloom. Definitely, it's day by day from here forward, so it's going to be really exciting to see how all of this plays out. So I think that we should put a close on day 10. So for the whole Expedition Online team, we thank you all for joining us. We hope to see you guys next time. Peace.
My heart is beating so fast. And I'm praying that this move makes me get further in the game because I've been on the bottom and I'm trying to get to the top. Hope they do the same.
I feel really awful about this vote, but I think is the right strategic move.
All right. I sure am glad I am immune. Jared, let's draw some rocks.
I am voting for you tonight because you're just too big of a threat, and I've never really been able to trust you. See you soon.
I am praying that this goes to a tie and we get to hopefully avoid rocks with someone else flipping, because if not, I think it is me going.
I'm voting for Justin just because I know Ryan has a compass and I don't want the votes to be on me, so it's for Justin.
Justin, I love you. I think you're great. I don't want to be writing your name tonight, but the threat of Ryan having a compass is way too high. And this vote is an insurance policy to make sure that it's not my name that's on a single vote that sends me out. Sorry in advance.
I'm shaking so hard right now, but I'm putting all my faith into Justin, into Gideon, and into Chantel. We're voting Jared tonight.
I'm just so thankful to the Expedition gods that I'm here to see another day.